welcome to Verdictum. I am Ananya Singh and you're watching today's legal news, where we apprise you with the recent important legal developments across the nation. Let's take a look at the headlines. Policy existing at the time of conviction to apply in cases of premature release of prisoner, unless more liberal rules are framed, holds Supreme Court. Man living separately with another woman without divorcing the spouse cannot be said to be in a live-in relationship, notes Punjab and Haryana High Court. Kerala High Court directs eateries to display date and time of preparation of food on packaging after minor dies due to consumption of shawarma. 10 more family courts to be set up in Delhi, LG announced in press release. Ministry of External Affairs urged the Law Commission to review and strengthen framework governing NRI marriages. Now let's take a detailed look on the headlines. A bench of the Supreme Court comprising the Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud and Justice J.B. Pardiwala and Justice Manoj Mishra, while hearing the plea of a murder convict in Uttarakhand seeking his premature release, observed that the policy governing the premature release of a convict at the time of their conviction remains in effect, unless a more liberal policy is enacted subsequently. The convict in the case sought premature release after serving 24 years of actual sentence and 30 years with remission. The top court affirmed that the well-settled legal principle is that the policy in force at the time of conviction persists unless a more lenient policy is introduced later. The council representing the state of Uttarakhand contended that the policy is applicable when Uttarakhand was part of the undivided state of Uttar Pradesh, including the premature release policy, continue to apply upon Uttarakhand until the newly constituted state formulated its own laws in this regard. The state policy for the premature release of prisoners with life imprisonment was established by Uttarakhand on November 29, 2022. The council informed the Apex Court. The Apex Court, however, mandated that the case for premature release be considered by November 30, 2023, without any delays in the compliance. The Punjab and Haryana High Court, while dismissing the plea of a couple seeking protection of their lives and liberty, has held that a man living a lustful and adulterous life with a woman without divorcing his spouse cannot be called to be in a live-in relationship or relationship in the nature of a marriage. The single-judge bench of Justice Kuldeep Tiwari observed that the man involved in the so-called live-in relationship was already married and living separately from his wife due to strained relations. He also had 2 children with his wife, who were living with their mother. The court emphasized that living with another woman without obtaining a valid divorce from his wife cannot be considered a live-in relationship, and in fact it might constitute an offence under sections 494 and 495 of the Indian Penal Code, which deals with bigamy. The court found that the allegations of threats to the couple's lives were bald and vague, and no material supporting the allegations was presented before the court. The court further questioned the true intentions for filing the petition and said that it appears that in order to avoid any criminal prosecution in case of adultery, the present petition has been filed. The hidden intent of the petitioners is just to obliquely obtain the seal of the court on their conduct. Ultimately, the court concluded that there were no concrete grounds to grant the requested relief and dismissed the petition. The High Court of Kerala has directed eateries to display the date and time of preparation of food on its packaging, following the death of a 16-year-old who consumed shawarma from an eatery. The court, presided over by Justice Devan Ramachandran, emphasized upon the need to create awareness among the public about consuming food items within specified time. The directive came after the Food Safety Commissioner Afsana Parveen informed the court that consumption of shawarma beyond the recommended time frame was a major cause of such incidents. The court expressed concern over the incidents of shawarma-related deaths and acknowledged the actions taken by the Food Safety Commissioner, including issuing of shawarma guidelines in September 2022, which mandated all vendors and hotels engaged in the preparation and sale of shawarma for maintenance of safety and hygiene when the dish is prepared and stored, and a ban in January this year. The plea was filed before the High Court by the mother of a deceased minor girl, seeking a compensation of ₹1 crore for her daughter's death and strict compliance with the Food Safety and Standards Act of 2006. The Delhi government has decided to establish 10 more family courts in the National Capital Territory. This will raise the total number of family courts from 21 to 31. The decision was announced by the Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena in a press release, which stated that 4 years after the proposal was first moved in October 2019, Delhi to finally get 10 more family courts to adjudicate on cases pending for more than a decade. The press release also highlighted that about 46,000 cases are pending before family courts in Delhi, the lowest at Saket and the highest before the family court of Rohini. The decision also comes with new vacancies for appointment of judges, along with readers, stenographers, and other staff required for the functioning of the courts. The Ministry of External Affairs has asked the Law Commission of India to review and strengthen the regulatory framework governing the marriages of non-resident Indians, both within the context of international public law and private laws. The MEA has recently initiated discussions with the Law Commission to identify and rectify deficiencies in existing laws that contribute to the issues such as abandonment of partners, more specifically of the brides, delays in visa sponsorship, harassment by spouse and in-laws, unilateral divorce, and matters related to child custody, among others. The Law Commission is at an early stage of developing a comprehensive framework to address these challenges and is focusing on closing the loopholes that may be exploited by wrongdoers. This includes the examination of procedural requirements and also scrutiny of the Foreign Marriage Act and a 2019 bill related to the registration of NRI marriages. That was all on today's legal news. Thank you and keep watching Verdictum, and subscribe to our channel and download the Verdictum app on iOS and Android to keep yourself updated with authentic legal news.